All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Oops. So the Fed holds rates steady, the federal funds rate, and everybody was expecting this. This is not a surprise. Some people actually did think they would cut rates, like there would be a rate cut today, maybe like 25 basis points, but it was a low percentage of this happening. So, and I think they have a break in August and they're going to come back in September. And the percentage that rates will get cut in September are about 95%. So, and I think they hinted, I was reading an article, not reading an article, but I saw a news article headline and they suggested that, or I think Jerome Powell suggested in the meeting today that they're going to cut rates in September. And that's what the market's predicting. That's what the market is pricing in. So, yeah, I think we're going to get rate cuts in September. And that basically means bullish times ahead, right? We have the crypto market, which is heating up. We have the Bitcoin happening. We had the BTC, again, spot ETF back in February that got approved. We just got the Ethereum spot ETFs approved. So the crypto market has no shortage of bullish news. And with these interest rate cuts, it's just going to add on to the fuel, right? So, yeah, I think going into August, today's the 31st, going into August, it's going to be very bullish for the market. And the reason being is because I think most traders, most investors are pricing in a rate cut in September. So if that's the case, August is going to be really bullish because I think once rate cuts come in September, we'll get an uptick in price. But I think we're going to see a lot of that movement in August, right? People are going to be piling up. People are going to be taking their positions because they're going to be anticipating a rate cut. Now, will we get another one this year? Most likely. So if we get one in September, most likely we'll get one in November. And then they're actually thinking, people are speculating that we may get one in December as well. And then we're definitely going to get a few more in 2025. So, yeah, very bullish. I took a look at NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA spiked up. So that's another thing. Earnings. So yesterday afternoon, Microsoft and AMD reported their earnings. And here are the results. So if I look at the results, let's see. I looked it up. Okay, yeah, here it goes. Okay, so it says Microsoft, and I'm getting this from ChatGPT. It actually has the quarter wrong. It's quarter 2, but it says Q4. It says Microsoft reported its Q2 2024 earnings on July 30th, yesterday. The company achieved earnings per share of $2.95, surpassing the consensus estimate of $2.90. So they beat their the overall consensus of $2.90, they did $2.95. Microsoft revenue for the quarter was $64.73 billion, exceeding the expected $64.38 billion, reflecting a 15.2% increase compared to the same quarter last year. So they did 15% better than what they did last year. I don't know. Somebody was saying that they flopped. So I don't know if somebody else was like more analysts were expecting more, or I'm not sure, but they looked like they did good. AMD also reported its Q2 2024 earnings on July 30th. Yesterday, the company posted an EPS of 0.69, slightly above the consensus estimate of 0.68. AMD's revenue for the quarter was $5.84 billion, which was higher than the expected $5.72 billion, representing an 8.9% year-over-year increase. So it looks like Microsoft did better than AMD. And, AMD's semiconductor chip play, so that spiked an increase in Nvidia. I think Nvidia went up 2-3%. I think it's trading at 116, 117. So yeah. So that it's kind of just setting the ground for the companies that are going to report in August, which the big one is Nvidia, right? Nvidia is going to be reporting, I think it's the 27th or the 28th of August. So if they report good, remember we were talking about in the previous live stream what Nvidia needs to report to surge, right? Because we looked at their chart. Their chart looks overextended. So, if they do slightly under what they were expecting, you could see Nvidia stock correcting. Now, I think if Nvidia now if they do report good earnings, they'll definitely pump into September. But like I said, I think August is going to be a pump. I think August, like some assets are going to pump and some are not. Obviously, the ones that are going to report earnings for August, most likely there's going to be speculation on those companies, and those will probably pump in August going into the actual earnings report, specifically Nvidia. So Nvidia could pump anywhere in August and maybe up until September. Now, I do think we're going to get a pullback sometime this year because the way I'm kind of analyzing the market, I'm kind of using crypto to analyze the market. And I'm looking at points where I think crypto is going to be at its peaks. So, and the way I do this, I look at certain. It's weird because in the crypto space, there's a lot of projects that delay releases, like big releases. For instance, like there's this project called Dash, and maybe not this specific project, but they kind of, push back their release a bunch of times over the years, and they were scheduled to release 2024, early 2024, but somehow it got pushed back until just recently, right? And I think they just released their project that they've been working on, which is called Evolution, the Evolution platform. They rolled it out 2 days ago, the 29th, and it won't get activated until the end of August, which is right around earnings, right around for Nvidia, right around the time where they're going to be cutting rates. So it just seems like and then like, so for another, give you another example, there's this project called Snacks, which is like a layer 2 for BTC. They're going to be they were supposed to release their project in April, like their update, their Nakamoto upgrade in April. And one of the excuse was that there was like a safety mechanism that they weren't going to build out until they actually released the Nakamoto upgrade. So, but they decided to work on it now instead of later. So it pushed back the release of the Nakamoto upgrade to August. So it's almost like August is like the date where all the good news is coming out for these companies. And the reason I think a lot of these projects and these companies, they know that if they release something in a month where you don't have too much favorable catalyst like interest rate cut, which kind of sets the tone for all the assets, your good news kind of goes to waste. So I think a lot of these projects kind of delay their news, delay the release of stuff. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's not the case. But again, all this stuff aligns, even going into the election period, right? Getting rate cuts towards the election. Why do we get it? If you ask people in the news, if you ask people that work for the Federal Reserve, they say, no, we don't release, we don't do it because of politics. It just always happens to happen during the politics time. So it's like they say they don't do it, but it's like the trend just shows that's not the case, right? So, but they have to say that in public so people don't believe that they're trying to manipulate the market. That's just my input. But yeah, so Nvidia pumped up because AMD pumped up, but I think it's just a prerequisite to maybe it's a bigger jump, or maybe that pump was to sustain a minor crash that's coming soon. Because I ultimately think that Nvidia is going to end up like probably around $200 by the end of the year. Because again, the rate cuts are just the rate cuts are going to ignite growth stocks, right? And it has a big market cap. It's already in the trillions, but I still consider it growth because even though it has trillions in its market cap, it's in a hot sector, AI, GPUs. So I think it has a lot more room to run, right? A lot of people are predicting it could be a 10 to $20 trillion company in the next 3 to 5 years. So yeah, I think Nvidia is going to do good. Their earnings, like I said, earnings is in the end of August. BTC right now is taking a dip, and I'm not sure why. I think because there was some news that the government had moved some BTC that they got from like the Silk Road, and I guess they were planning on selling it, or maybe they didn't sell it, but they just moved it around to make it appear like they were going to dump off some BTC. So that always scares off the market. And in my opinion, I think we're very close to a huge run in the crypto space. And I remember 2017, 2021, for those bull runs, prior to the big run up, we had some sell offs to shake out the weak hands, right? People that don't have patience, people that listen to news on Twitter, people that listen to news on forums, and any little piece of news, any piece of little negative news, they're ready to go sell their position and buy back at a higher price, right? And then lose some money. So I think the people that manipulate the market, the people that control the market, the big whales, they know this. So they're trying to shake out people, lower the price, get back in lower prices because they know where this is going to go. So, yeah. Like I said, Fed kept rates steady. I think we knew they weren't going to increase rates, that's for sure. But, and it was very low percentage that they were going to decrease interest rates. So, yeah, but we're going to get interest rate cuts in September. It always almost has to happen before an election. They won't do it in October because I'm not sure if they're in the they meet up in October. I think they meet up. They're gonna meet up in September, and then November they have another meeting. So yeah, it's almost like 100% sure, but let's just throw the 90% on there that we'll get an interest rate cut in September. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram, Mr. Financial Nutrition. Make sure you go follow me on TikTok, Financial Nutrition. I post there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I post today. Today's Wednesday. And I post at 6 p.m. during the week, and then 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sunday. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.